Mrs. Duran.
Mrs. Duran has 1/4 in the pizza. Her and Mr. Thomas are going to share. How much pizza will each have?
Box the word share. When you are splitting apart some fraction or some whole number and it says to share or to split or to divide, you are meaning to divide that fraction. Put division next to example 1 and we're going to set this up. 1/4 is the thing we're dividing it. We're dividing it into 2 sections. Put 1/4 divided by 2. In the model, this model is there for you to use if it's helpful. You need to show it 4 times today, 3 examples and 1 partner practice. If you don't like it, you can pocket it and never use it again. If you like it, sure, use it today and we'll eventually fade it out. When you get the model, you're going to look at the thing that you're splitting up. It's 1 out of 4, so we're going to draw 4 sections. Shade in one of them. How many people am I sharing it with? Silent hands. I have 1/4 of it, Topanga. Sharing it with how many people? 2. Let's split this model into 2. There we go. What a funky looking pizza. That is the thing I'm splitting up. When you have the answer in the model, the thing you're going to look for with division models is just one of the sections. So let's look at the top section. How many pieces are shaded? Kinley. That's your numerator. Go ahead and put it for the answer. It's 1 over something. For the denominator, what is the total sections in all? How many total sections did you make when we divided this thing? Sam, track the board.
8.
Henry.
8.
It's 8. So that's the denominator. The answer you just found is 1/8. That is the model. That's how you can use it. Let's look at the actual arithmetic for it. When you have 1/4 divided by 2, this is the part I want you to use like fluently. So this is our focus. This is just cool behind the scenes. How do I make 2 look like a fraction? Whenever I add or multiply or subtract, we want that 2 to be a fraction. What should it look like, Jenica?
2 over 1.
Okay, so let's rewrite it. 1/4 divided by 2 over 1. Go ahead. When I divide or multiply, does the bottom number need to be the same? Do 4 and 1 have to match? No, but division with fractions is tricky. I can't complete it. I'm going to follow a process that you may have heard. It's called KFC. Mathematicians either like it or they don't like it. There's some argument over whether it's like mathematically correct. I think it serves its purpose and it's okay, and it makes me think of fried chicken, which makes me happy. So I'm going to use KFC. Here's what it means. When you divide fractions, you're going to keep the first fraction, write it underneath. Keep 1/4. Flip the second fraction. You're going to take the reciprocal of 2 over 1. I like to call it the refliprical. Say refliprical on 2. 1, 2. That's just the opposite of that number. What's the opposite of 2 over 1, Henry? What's the opposite of 2 over 1?
1 over 2.
Yeah, so write the opposite. The refliprical of 2 over 1 is 1 over 2. We kept, we flipped, and now we changed the sign. Division is going to change into multiplication. That is your operation that you use when you divide. Once you have a multiplication problem, you can solve it. Multiply the top for me, Hunter. 1 times 1 is? What's 4 times 2, Hunter? 1/8 is your answer. We got it in the model. We got it with arithmetic, and we're going to label it. Nathan, what is it labeled as? 1/8 of the pizza, or 1/8 pizza? Sure. Of the pizza. That's it. Cool. 1 out of 4 models done. What?
There's KF but no C.
Yay. We'll put it in the middle. Beep. There's the changed sign. KFC. Example 2, read it for me, please. Jenica.
Alex takes 3/4 gallons of water and splits it evenly between 2 buckets. How much water is in each bucket?
Give me a key word for this one, Hannah. What do you notice that could clue me into dividing? Okay. What else, Judah?
Splits.
Good. That makes sense. Let's do a model. Make 4 sections and shade in 3 of them for 3/4 of the gallon. How many people am I splitting this into, or how many buckets am I splitting this into, Sean?
2.
Okay, so I shade in 3. Let's do it in red. And we're going to split it into 2. 1, 2, 3. Beautiful. We're splitting that into 2 parts. Okay. When I'm using the model, for the numerator, I look at just one of the sections. How many total pieces are shaded, Ashton? 3. And then look at the total for the denominator, Ashton. 3 out of how many?
8.
That should be your answer. Henry.
I was just wondering if I could do it, but Grandma here did it.
Let's do the solve one, Henry. We're going to set it up with 3/4 divided by 2. How can I rewrite 2?
So first you have to put 2 over 1 so you can make it a fraction. Then you have to flip it so that's 1 over 2. Then you can multiply it.
Great. Let's flip. Before we flip, let's rewrite. And it's going to be divided by 2 over 1. What do I flip the 2 over 1 into? I keep the first and I flip the second. Juliet?
What?
2 over 1 turns into what fraction?
3/8.
2 over 1 turns into what fraction?
1/2.
Yeah. And then the division sign turns into?
Multiplication.
Good. Multiply the top, and you get 3 times 1 is 3. 4 times 2 is 8. We got it. Check it off. 3/8 needs a label. Jersey, what is the label for this one? 3/8. How much water is in each bucket? 3/8 what? 3/8 gallons. Should work, yeah. 3/8 gallons or 3/8 of the water. Cool. Last example, read it for me, Sean. Example 3, Mr. Meinig.
Mr. Manning decides to use 1/4 of the belief for each of the 4th grade levels are going to get their own sport court. If the sport courts are all equal, what fraction of the total area of each sport court?
Give me a keyword. It's a little trickier. Box it. And if you're uneven, raise your hands. What keyword is going to clue me into division? Odds, raise your hand. Hands down. Evens, raise your hand. Hands down. Odds, raise your hand. Hands down. Odds, raise your hand. Oh, almost tricked you. Hands down. What's a keyword or a couple keywords that clue me into division? Turn and talk 30 seconds. Odds, go. What's a keyword? It's a little tricky. What do you think, Devin? You should be talking right now. What's an odd? Hands off. Total area could be it. Sure. Are all equal? 3, 2, 1. Silent hand, what's a keyword that you could kind of dissect from here? There's nothing really obvious, but a few things that are tiny hints. Ashton, what did your team talk about?
The phrase, what fraction of the total area? Because fraction means split.
Yeah, so what, like parts of the total area? That's a good insight. Henry?
The backyard will each, or just will each?
That's another one that kind of clues me into like splitting apart something and having separate courts. Good. All those things mean division.
Do we have to keep the models?
For 2 more times, then you're free. 1/3 divided by how many sections do I have? Another tricky one. Aiden?
Oh. 4.
Good. Let's make your 3rd out of 4 models. And we're going to shade in. Anyone catch a blunder in my model? Aiden, what's my blunder?
So what you did is when you divided.
Not quite.
You didn't put the right model.
Correct. What do I need to change about it? Henry?
You need to change it so that there's so that it's not 1 word. That's not right. Is that at least the denominator is 4, so there's
Not quite. This model is out of 4. I need it to be 1/3, so I'm gonna change it. No one caught it. I caught it, so I'm not gonna mark it.
I caught it. I already did the model. And
Yeah, but you didn't actually say it, so you can't put it on the board. No, you didn't specify. I needed something more specific.
That should be good enough.
You snosty lost. Sorry. Bummer. Try better next time. Wait.
I'm gonna.
Alright, 1/3 divided by 4. Here we go. Let's do 4 sections. Here we go. Kind of tiny, but we can make it work. 1, 2, 3. Squeeze it in there. That's okay. Okay, wow. That's not actually good. Let's change that. Let's do this. I made it way too small.
What the heck?
There you go. That's better. Nope. Hold up. That's better. That's better. That's better. That's better. And we're good. Alright, looking at the model, what's my numerator? Cover up all sections except for 1. Hannah, how many sections are shaded? 1 of the sections are shaded. That's your top number. How many total sections are there, Cody? Count them up. How many?
9.
There's 9. Count 3 more. That's 12. So your answer should be 1/12. Let's do some arithmetic. 1/3 divided by 4. Hunter, what do I change the 4 to? Okay, keep, flip, change. Keep the first fraction. What do I change the second? Devlin talking to. Evelyn, what do I change the second fraction to?
1/4.
And Evelyn, what do I change the sign to? Good. What's my answer, Aaliyah? Multiply the top and the bottom.
1/12.
Label it for me, Henry. What's the 1/12 actually mean?
1/12. I don't know, backyard area.
Yeah.
Or area of the backyard.
Of the backyard. 1/12 of the area. 1/12 of the backyard. Something about the backyard being split into 1/12.